Hello, you've caught me enjoying a nice game of Pez. But where's your controller, I hear you ask? Well, I don't need a controller because I am watching the game play itself.
What madness is this? I hear you type into the comments along with other slightly less polite variations of that same question. How is that in any way fun? And the answer is there's more than one way to enjoy Pez, especially if, like me, you're a massive football fan, and if you are, you'll know the frustration that comes with only having one World Cup every 4 years. And if that World Cup is rubbish, like the last two have been, that's another 4-year wait until the next one.
Unless you do what I used to do at uni when I had all the free time in the world, and make your very own World Cup in Pez.
This is the beauty of video games, isn't it? They're so versatile. You can push your own rules on them and they flex and bend and accommodate your tampering and sometimes become even better because of it. A bit like mods, but powered by paper and imagination. So take my Pez World Cup. What I do was write down 32 teams on a sheet of paper, cut them all out so each team would have a slip, put them in a hat and then draw them into groups just like they do in real life, only without all the suits and boring talky bits.
Pez isn't even on at this point and already I'm having a great time.
I'd then write down all the fixtures, work out who would play who through the knockout stages, and then I'd begin. Maximum difficulty level so the computer would play the best football it knew how, maximum match length so it was more like a real game of football, broadcast camera angle, minimap, maximum transparency so I could forget it was there, and then we begin. 64 matches that took anywhere up to an entire week to complete, and I'd record everything: assists, goals scored, red cards, so I could tweak formations and simulate player suspensions. I made it as real as possible.
And I just sat there absorbed in it as if it was a real World Cup. Outrageously nerdy, I know, but if like me you really like football and if you have the time, I would thoroughly recommend doing the World Cup thing. It's amazing. I've done it about 4 times in my life, and they are some of my fondest video game memories ever.
Here are 6 more times we played games in ways we weren't supposed to, and it turned out to be amazing fun. Next up, we've got Soulcalibur 2, a game that, as far as I'm concerned, is right up there with Tekken 3 on the list of best beat-em-ups of all time. It was just so graceful and fluid, and just so happened to be out round about the same time as The Matrix Reloaded, which, as a slow-mo hungry 15-year-old, I was convinced was the greatest movie ever made for at least 6 months after its release.
Keanu Reeves blocks a sword with his hand, it's so cool. Anyway, Soulcalibur 2.
I used to play Soulcalibur 2 with my mate, game after game after game after game. After watching The Matrix Reloaded, we decided that Soulcalibur 2's action was so good it could have been choreographed by Yuen Wo Ping. Every so often you'd get a wonderful moment of spontaneous, movie-quality dodging and countering that made us both do that noise teenage boys do when they approve of something.
You know, like, oh, and then they do the hand flick as well, don't they? Oh!
So what we did was play a versus match. We'd give ourselves infinite health, so a round could only be won by a ring out, meaning the fights would be epic and last ages, and then we'd turn the in-game music off and put the Matrix Reloaded soundtrack on the CD player and fight, fight, fight. Obviously, this isn't the actual soundtrack because copyright, but I typed cool techno action into Epidemic Sound and got this track, which is basically as good. That is liquid punching. Beautiful. Do this. Play your favourite beat-em-up to the soundtrack of your favourite action movie. It feels amazing. Next up, we've got one of my all-time favourite in-game games that I like to play in Grand Theft Auto. Sorry, I mean I used to play. I don't do this anymore because it would be mad. Anyway, me and my sister used to hijack a taxi and then roleplay as the murderous owner of a fictitious company called 50/50 Cabs. It worked like this. I'd drive about until my sister selected a victim of fare. I'd pick them up, ask them where they wanted to go, and then flip a coin. If it was heads, they'd get taken to their destination really carefully, like we'd stop at traffic lights, obey speed limits, you know, the anti-GTA.
If it came up tails, however, that wouldn't happen.
If it came up tails, they'd be taken on a death ride through Los Santos until eventually we'd end up in a nice secluded spot, perfect for a bit of NPC murder. What's that? Not happy I've driven you miles away from where you wanted? Look, no refunds. We're called 50-50 cabs. Have a death.
I've been told by many people over the years that this behaviour is disturbing, when really it's just a bit of harmless fun. In real life, I am a really stable man. Taxi?
Next up is another mad thing my sister and I used to do. I'm realising we really were quite awful when we were kids. When we played TOCA World Touring Cars back on PS1. Now, I'm not a massive racing game fan because I mostly suck at them and cars are just things that get you somewhere. I don't really care about cars, but TOCA World Touring Cars was an exception. What a game this was. My two favourite things about it were that your car would receive real-time damage that would affect its handling. So if your gearbox broke, you wouldn't be able to shift gears. If your steering got damaged, you'd keep on veering to one side, etc. And this would force you to pit to get your car repaired. The more damage you took, the longer the pit stop, obviously.
So what me and my sister used to do was this. We'd start a split-screen race, complete with a bunch of AI opponents as well. I'd race off, but she would immediately turn around and start driving the wrong way around the track.
It was my sister's job to smash into every car except me and try and force them into the pits, thereby letting me win the race. Because you see, my second favourite thing about the game was that it didn't auto-correct you if you left the track or went round the wrong way. It would just be like, whatever, they're having fun. And we were, because another cool thing you could do was write your name on the car windows, and my sister role-played as this car assassin called the Jellyfish.
Because she went round stinging the other cars, I guess.
And we had a great time. In fact, when it got to the stage where I was like 10 laps in front, we'd team up and force cars into the pit and then block the pit exit so they couldn't get out. We were trolls before the internet had even invented them. Ah, happy days.
Next up is one of Dave's, and it's something he used to do while playing FIFA with his friends.
I suspect he's not alone in this either, and what I'm about to describe is basically an old pre-online multiplayer version of the I'm losing by too many goals rage quit. So, say you're winning 4-0 against your friend. There's no way they're coming back. It's at this stage a different game begins. It's not football, it's see if I can get all my players sent off before full-time ball, and the rules are pretty self-explanatory. The person who's losing has to try and get enough players sent off so the ref calls a halt to the game.
I think it's about 6, and so the person who's winning now has to dodge fouls like a madman. It's lovely fun. Tackles go flying in everywhere. You get some amazing replays, especially with modern FIFA's physics engine and anguished facial animations.
It's so much fun actually, because the person who's won has still won and they get to practice avoiding tackles, whereas the loser just gets to let out all that pent-up frustration in a really friendly manner. They should do this in real football. Team is being thrashed, new tactical approach, try and land a career-ending injury on one of your opponents while they run away. The fans would love it. Crash Team Racing's battle mode is next, except my sister and I, yes, we're at it again, liked to play it with a stealthy twist. We'd turn off all weapons apart from bombs and invisibility, which basically meant we spent the entire time screen cheating to find the other's location. It was like Crash Team Racing mixed with Metal Gear. You know that bit from Metal Gear, that famous bit where Snake and Liquid get in go-karts and chuck bombs at each other? This was just like it.
Also, it honed our skills to absolute perfection. We became unerringly accurate with bombs and masters of deploying invisibility at just the right moment.
There aren't many games at which I'm so good I'd be confident of taking on anyone, but Crash Team Racing is one of them. I will beat you at this game. Our final entry is a game that's the absolute king when it comes to making up your own rules within its world, and that game is Skyrim. Basically a giant high fantasy toy box, Skyrim allows you to do pretty much whatever you want and play it however you like. I particularly enjoy how every NPC feels like an actual character. They're all unique, they all have names, backstories and roles within their communities. They go to the tavern after work, they go to their houses at night and sleep.
And if you kill them, they stay dead forever.
Which is obviously what I liked to do. In Skyrim, and I did this in Oblivion too, I'd make a separate save where I'd pretend I was like some sort of elfish Terminator. My mission? Kill literally everyone. I know there's the odd essential quest giver you can't kill, but apart from that you can pretty much level every settlement and turn the game into one giant ghost town. And so that's what I do. This is a role-playing game, and so I'd play the role of Skyrim's Doom, a being sent into the world to purge it of all life. Nords, Argonians, chickens, Nazim.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
Oh yes, Nazim.
It's so much fun too, trying to work out the most effective way to kill people. I prefer sneaking into houses at night, and so getting a 15 times damage multiplier with my stealthy arrows.
It's the best fun. Try it. And that concludes our list of 7 times we played games in ways we weren't supposed to. Please do share your own stories in the comments, like this video if you enjoyed it, watch another by hitting one of the links on screen, and join us again next week for another Friday feature. Thanks for watching.